Alrighty, greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers. Welcome back to WizdomDropz, your source for daily drops of wisdom in Savvy Cat Astrology. My name is Tonia, and today we are discussing Kanye West and his chart. And I'm doing this as a part of a little just fun exercise looking at celebrity charts. If you have a celebrity that you really enjoy or think is dope and you want to talk about their soul and stuff, like you can put them in a link, in a comment down below and see if I'll cover it. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll see if I like them or want to look at their chart. Okay, cool. So a couple quick announcements before we jump into looking at this chart and seeing what's what with Kanye West's soul, because it's pretty interesting what this person is living through in this lifetime. And I think you're going to find a lot of interest if you're somebody who follows him and knows some of just deeper layers of maybe different scenarios and situations. But before we do get into that, y'all, couple quick announcements. As I said, if you are new to this platform, I welcome you to join us and subscribe because I put out a video every single day, and if you want to be here for it, it costs you nothing, which is pretty groovy. So all you got to do is subscribe, hit the bell, get the notification daily, and maybe share with a friend if you feel like they vibe with learning astrology too. This is a free source on the internet. Pretty cool, if I do say so myself. If you're interested in learning astrology, you're subscribed. Put it that way. Like most people are like, everybody here I think is like really into like learning more about astrology and like understanding it. Like, what does it mean? Because that's our style. We go through things like pretty, nuts and bolts. Like, this is astrology, man, and like, cool. We're gonna nerd out together and see this, like, learn together. And anyway, welcome if you're new. If you've been here a long time or you've already been here a while, groovy, thanks for being here. Fun. Like the vid if it brings you any value whatsoever, because it helps other people get the information for free. And last but not least, if you're interested in booking a session with me, I am available to do that. You can look at my Gmail address located in the description box of this video. Wunderbar. So let us move on to Kanye West chart. What an interesting being. Very interesting being. Let's look at his time here. He was born June 8th, 1977, before it all went crazy on me. Oh, I don't want to see the affinity with my profiles. That's what I keep clicking on. June 8th, 1977 at 8:45 a.m. in Atlanta, Georgia. And we, ladies and gents and non-gender binary folk, are about to dive on in. So basically, first things first, this chart has a lot of energy all over. And this explains maybe some of the intensity and kind of like feeling of not total cohesion that Kanye might be experiencing as a soul and also known for. There is some deep structure here that shows his incredible depth of mind and also like just different facets that are very interesting about him. So let's look at some of them. First things first, a look at the configurations just as a like, whoa, that's interesting. He's got a T-square with his moon at the apex. This is so funny. I just did a video on Queen Latifah and I didn't even look at these charts before I started filming. And they both have a T-square that leads to the moon. And isn't that interesting? Now, if you're watching that other video and then you watch this video, compare. Wow, this is going to be interesting. Oh my God, this is so, wow, I fucking love astrology. And Spirit just helped this happen. So check it out. We're about to go on this little magic school bus. Seatbelts, everyone. Journey. So the T-square here is in an apex in his chart to the moon in Pisces at 16 degrees. And it's forming a square with Neptune, and it's forming another square with Jupiter. And this is like a 2-degree orb of separation between 16 and 14. Wow, baby, on either side. A 1-degree orb between the moon and the sun. Are you freaking kidding me? This is an undeniable T-square. This is all going to his 9th house of his beliefs and relevant, so relevant. And what is Pisces energy? Pisces energy is very sensitive, and in a lower vibration, Pisces energy is very flippant and very avoidant. Queen Latifah is a Pisces sun, interestingly enough. But she's a Leo moon, and that's the queen thing. That's why it's funny. And now Kanye is like this moon figure of Piscean qualities. And a low vibration or a challenging vibration, it could be escapism through substances, through mental states, whatevs. Fantasy is usually a way that the moon is engaged in escapist tendencies, especially when it's in Pisces. Moon in Pisces is the most intuitive placement you can have your moon, I would argue. Definitely it's like the type of intuition where it's like you don't know why you know it, you just do. It's not like a moon in Scorpio where you might be able to kind of tune into it and then find it in the dark, so to speak, or a moon in Cancer where you feel it in your gut. Moon in Pisces is more like you just kind of know it and you don't know why, you just do. It's like part of your consciousness. It's like the streamline between your intuition awareness and your existence plane are just one. And so anyway, he has that. He's a very intuitive being, and this gives him his deep artistry in like all the different facets that he can like be an artist. Okay, so that's interesting. But there's other things in his chart that just kind of show up in more challenging, difficult ways. A lot of difficulty here, and that moon being engaged in that is not an easy place for anybody to have a T square. You don't engage the moon, but this has to do with his belief systems, Jupiter, and his identity, Sun, along with his own sense of delusionism and escapism. Okay. And so he like because Neptune is involved, and possibly his own sense of spirituality because his own spiritual practices. Neptune is that as well, and in the sign of Jupiter, Sagittarius, that gives some interesting relationship here between this conversation. So his beliefs, his identity, his spiritualism are all coming into some type of harmonious thing through otherwise what is tension for him, through his emotion and through what his artistry, Pisces, moon in Pisces, and through his intuition. But emotions are not always stable with moon in Pisces. It's the most sensitive, placement for a moon. So he definitely feels things at a super sensitive level. And part of his sensitive expression of emotion is what's going to allegedly, in some way, shape, or form, help him out of this bind that he experiences himself in. It does not help his case or his experience of this, y'all, that the ruler of Pisces, Jupiter, in this chart is not in great dignity. It's in Gemini, and it's the opposite sign of where it so-called belongs or what it rules, which is Sagittarius and also Pisces, right? But it's in an opposite sign. And whenever you have Jupiter in the opposite sign of where it belongs, or any planet for that matter, it's not going to be in the best of health. And not only that, but look, Jupiter's conjunct, I just noticed his 12th house cusp. Holy guacamole. The 12th house is the place that's hidden from even ourselves, our subconscious. Okay. So the ruler of his moon sign, or the dispositor, to use the fancy astrology word of it, the sign that his moon is in not so good dignity because it's in a sign where it doesn't like to be. And it's also opposite Neptune, which has to do with illusions. And that's also a modern ruler of Pisces and has to do with escapism and illusions. So this is the soul of somebody who can have a real challenge with illusions. I know he's been announced as like bipolar, but I wouldn't be surprised if he even had some schizophrenic type experiences as well. Like goddess forbid, but like, it could be a thing. But like his moon and Pisces sensitivity is going to be like better off in some way, shape, or form to help him exist. But it makes him unpredictable, and everything we know he also can be with that. So anyway, though, this Mars Venus thing here is interesting because that's in exact conjunction, and those are the passion planets, and it's in the sign of Taurus. And so the passion planets are conjunct in an earth sign, and not to be, it's funny that Kim Kardashian is a Venus in Virgo, I think, because their Venuses are in earth signs. So that explains how they like got together and what they kind of clicked on, perhaps, is some of that Venus earth energy. But then also we have here a Mercury in the late degree Taurus conjunct Lilith. So the things he says, the things he communicates, Mercury, are very liberated and dark and also like free. And that is for better or for worse, because Lilith is the harmonica. What is that word? She is the symbol. She is the archetype of the liberated woman who just does whatever the fuck she wants, like so free. And so anyway, that's that Lilith energy, y'all, and his Mercury is conjuncted, you know what I'm saying? So he is a free communicator of the darker shadow things that people don't always want to hear, that are sometimes really just like stuck in their ways because it's in the sign of Taurus, which is very fixed. in its belief system. And it doesn't help that the dispositor of that Taurus energy is, yeah, co-present, that helps, in the same sign, but it's conjunct Mars, the fiercest warrior, like I'll cut a bitch kind of energy, you know, like Mars is like that. And so you put those two energies together, and that gives you that reason why his communications, even though his Mercury is in the sign of like a Venus hosted sign, and it's in, you know, this pleasurable Venus, it's also this warrior, this intense, like, you know, I will kill you with a knife and I will love you at the same time. It's like he has that kind of energy hosting, if you will, this Mercury Lilith expression. The layers of Kanye West, ladies and gents, what the heck? That's crazy. I've never even looked at this like that. You know, I'm looking at these charts for the first time. I'm just reading charts, you know, but like, and I don't follow the news like that, but I know he's definitely made it, like, for a variety of reasons, kind of related to all that we just said. So, you know, really when I look at this chart though, there are gifts, because, you know, there's, you can't deny the Saturn here in this sextile with not only Jupiter, but the sun, yeah, and Pluto. And so again, the orbs are very tight on that if you look at the different degree range there. And, you know, he's for sure like a structural king, so to speak, because Saturn is the planet of authority and it's in the sign of celebrity. Again, not the best dignity Saturn. Saturn rules Aquarius in ancient astrology before Uranus was even used like that. But with that said, you know, it is the apex planet, so it does serve a function, and it is being boosted in its ability to perform anything by the fact that it's engaged in the apex of a V sextile, okay, this little blue triangle. So anyway, he is forming a structure of royalty. That's the simplest interpretation of Saturn structure, Leo royalty, around the themes or through the themes of Pluto, control of the people, Pluto and Libra, control of the people, okay, of relationship and of beauty, Venus, art, okay, Venus hosts Libra. You can always substitute out any one of these signs for their planetary ruler, okay? Anyway, he does that, and he also engages, he engages through the process of belief and engaging into people's beliefs and speaking to his identity of his beliefs, of his philosophies, Jupiter. And those philosophies are connected to people and the common people, Gemini. And they're also part of his craft, Gemini. Gemini is always a skill and shows craft as well. So he engages through like this craft of his art that is communications. The dispositor of that is this Mercury we just talked about. And he is known for this. He is known for this identity. He is known for his philosophy. He is known for how he communicates. The host of Gemini is Mercury. Mercury is engaged in all this Lilith, Mars, Venus jazz we just talked about. And that is in hard aspect, my friends. You see that hard aspect there? Opposition to Uranus, please. This is the severance planet. He will cut someone. He will go off absolutely open-ended, free, liberated, dark as can possibly be. Scorpio Uranus opposing this. And that's part of what makes him known. That's part of what he's known for. It connects with the means I just explained to you. And, you know, I really see this as being a very profound being. And as Kim Kardashian herself said, like very, something along the lines of like very profound, but misunderstood and intense, and just all these other things where it's like, damn, you know, there's just a lot there in this chart. Again, we could literally spend hours talking about it, but I hope this video brought you value, and you know it did. So go ahead and hit that like button because it helps other people get it for free, which is pretty groovy. And you can put a comment down below the celebrity you want me to look at, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. Thanks for being here, groovy. Until next time, and through next time, may the stars be with you. Peace.